couldn't be worse at the Fuji circuit. Pouring rain. This then is the clincher, the World Championship decider. James Hunt in the McLaren and Niki Lauda in the Ferrari.
Getting nice and wet again.
It's great characters in a world, an environment, a sport that is so dramatic. And if you already know the sport, you recognize that. If you don't know the sport, then you're in for a really cool awakening. And it's that combination that I found irresistible. Excellent. Well done.
The story is very much about the rivalry between the two guys. One guy who led a dangerous life, you know, devil-may-care, womanizer, heavy drinker, and the other guy was a much more meticulous man who was more involved with the mechanics of how the car operated. So two contrasting styles.
These are not everymen. These are really unique, fascinating, entertaining guys.
Now just a minute, I haven't done my hair yet. I'm not ready to go on the telly.
James is, you know, he's an artist, if you will. You know, it's a much more visceral and passionate approach. You know, it's fueled from the gut, and it's kind of head down and foot down and go for it.
It's a movie about friendship, about rivalry, about fear, overcoming fear.
Well, certainly there's a very inspirational aspect to our story, which is Niki Lauda's incredible comeback from the Nürburgring crash and fire.
One of the most fascinating aspects of my part, how he could have his comeback after 4 weeks after that terrible accident and be fourth in Monza, the first race.
I think the biggest challenge really is trying to recreate on a reasonable budget the global nature of the sport and the intensity of it.
Everything that we've done for the film, we've done as realistic as possible. So any manoeuvres that look hairy or close is actually precision driving. That's basically what we do. We make it look as real as possible, and the only way you can do that is to get really close and have hair-raising moments. Otherwise the audience isn't going to believe how exciting Formula One was then.
The hardest thing with this film, there's so many moving parts. You've got the cars here, which are all owned by individual private collectors. You've got the mechanics recreating the period from 1976, the costumes, the whole thing. It's logistically a bit of a nightmare, but it's when you see, I nearly burst into tears a minute ago when we got one grid start right.
God, if I had to choose, you know, I really do want Formula One fans to feel respected and to appreciate the movie. I suppose if I had one wish for it, it might be that.
James Hunt holding the flag up for Britain, driving a superb race in far off Japan. Niki Lauda says the conditions out there are too bad, I've had enough. And Hunt is in the pits, his World Championship is in danger. And James Hunt is going to win the World Championship.
You know, I wanted to win the championship, and I felt that I deserved to win the championship. I also felt that Niki deserved to win the championship, and I just wish we could have shared it.
What a remarkable quote, and as you can hear, 36 years later, Formula One carries on. The roar of the engines in the garages, something's never changed in this sport, and Eddie is with the man who helped produce the movie, Guy East. Eddie.
Indeed, Guy, you've produced some amazing movies already in your career.
Thank you, Eddie.
Give us an idea of some of them, please.
Pictures like Dances with Wolves a few years ago, Terminator 3, English pictures like Sliding Doors, and recently The Woman in Black, one of the very, very successful British movies.
Rush, I'm intrigued. What made you come up with this idea, and where did it come from?
We basically make movies. Occasionally we make very special documentaries, and with the approval of the F1 management, we have been making for the last couple of years a documentary about the whole history of Formula One. And we became completely fascinated by the rivalry between Niki Lauda and James Hunt, and then heard that Ron Howard, a Oscar-winning director, and Peter Morgan, an English writer, Oscar nominee, had written a screenplay about that very thing. We got onto them, and the rest is history. We started working on the movie with them.
Well, we've just seen a little clip, and a lot of Ron was in the clip. I mean, is he the key to this story because he's been able to get that particular story out to the people in a successful way?
Ron is a very, very talented director for this type of movie. He's very accustomed to taking big, spectacular backgrounds, and then making a very, very emotional movie in the middle. And really what we'll see is the spectacular glamour and sexiness of Formula One and the danger and the excitement, but in the middle of the story is a very moving story about two men who are totally different, James Hunt being a playboy, Niki Lauda being a very disciplined guy, and how they both have the same ambition and they both win a world championship. It's about their rivalry, their respect, and the dignity of their characters.
Guy, thanks for that great insight. Thank you.
Great. Lovely meeting you, Eddie. Thank you.